I'm going to start with a piece of heresy, I think, which maybe here it's heresy, which is to suggest that actually, when we're talking about disruptive innovations in technology, we tend to over-focus on firsts. Technologies that, when we go higher or faster or do things that have never been done before. And yet, actually, when we look back through history, we all know that the technologies that actually really fundamentally changed our economic and social equation were actually not firsts, but for everyone's. There were things like the printing press or the Model T, which is taking products that actually had been around for a very, very long time. Actually, we should be really, really interested in mundane diffusion technologies. And I understand that quote, by the way, absolutely captures that idea. I loved it, so I haven't skipped it past there. But George Orwell, actually, the First World War couldn't have happened without the invention of tinned food. Just captures that. Actually, I understand that Google have this rule called the toothbrush rule, which is that every new product, is this right? Every new product should be used by most people twice a day. And obviously what I'm talking about here is a product that actually everybody uses most of the day. It's the single biggest thing that we expend our money on throughout most of our lives. We haven't innovated it that much in the last 50 years. And by the way we make it is in crisis. So this is an unashamed pitch to say, actually, you should be interested in housing. Come on, Google, catch up. And when we talk about housing crisis, what we probably think about is massive urbanization in the emerging economies, the rise of the slums, extreme housing need, which that is the housing crisis. But actually, this isn't an East-West story. Actually, the West also has a housing crisis. It's a crisis of debt, a crisis of affordability, a crisis of quality, and a crisis of sustainability. And what that actually looks like is this. In everyday terms, this is as we experience it. So between 1971 and 2008, the cost of housing in the UK inflated so much that actually, if over the same period chicken had inflated by the same amount, a chicken in 2008 would cost you £47 at the supermarket. And that's just inflation. And we tend to celebrate this, right? But actually, you've got to be extremely rich, and some of you might be. But you've got to be extremely rich before this isn't screwing you in some way. It's amazing how often you hear people say, it's great, my house just doubled in value. But what they could be saying is, my next house just got half as big.